Good morning, children. This video we are going to see about chemical properties of metals. So first of all we can see about the reaction of metals with oxygen. Okay. Now most of the metals will form their respective metal oxides when reacting with oxygen. Okay, so metal when react with oxygen forms metal oxide. So except lithium, potassium, sodium, these are the alkali metals. They are very soft metal. We have learned in physical properties of metal, isn't it? So these metals are known as alkali metals. So these alkali metals, they can react with oxygen without limitation. Okay, so without any consideration, it will react easily. Lithium, potassium, sodium or alkali metals which can react with oxygen and form their metal oxides. Now here you can see examples. Reaction of potassium with oxygen. So when potassium react with oxygen, it forms potassium oxide. Here is the chemical reaction. Potassium react with oxygen forms potassium oxide, that is K plus O2 gives K2O. Now reaction of sodium with oxygen. So sodium also forms sodium oxide when react with oxygen. We know that metal react with oxygen and form their respective oxides, isn't it? So here sodium react with oxygen and forms what? Sodium oxide. Here is the reaction which take place between sodium and oxygen, that is Na plus O2 gives Na2O, that is sodium oxide. Now reaction of copper with oxygen. So copper like other metals, it will not react with oxygen at room temperature. Room temperature means normal temperature. Copper does not react with oxygen, but when it is burnt in air, it gives oxide. Okay, so in the presence of air, so we have to heat copper in the presence of air to form copper oxide. So here is the reaction. Copper react with oxygen when we are heating it and forms copper oxide. Silver, gold and platinum, they do not combine with the oxygen of air even at high temperature. So these three metals, silver, gold and platinum, they will not combine with oxygen even if we are heating at high temperature. Okay, because they are the less reactive metals. So with the oxygen they will not react. Okay, so they are the least reactive metal. Understood, children? So alkali metals can react easily. Copper does not react with oxygen at room temperature, but it will react with oxygen when it is burnt. Then silver, gold and platinum, they do not combine with the oxygen even at high temperature. They are the least reactive metal. Now here reaction of metals with water. So metals react with water and forms hydroxide and hydrogen gas. So now we know metal react with oxygen and forms its metal oxides. Yes? So here metal react with water and forms hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Metal react with water and forms metal hydroxide plus hydrogen. Most of the metals do not react with water, but alkali metals, they will react with water. Okay, many metals will not react with water, but alkali metals, they will react with water. Here is an example. So reaction of sodium metal with water. So sodium react with water and form sodium hydroxide and liberate hydrogen gas along with lot of heat. Okay. So sodium react with water and forms what? Sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen. Here reaction of calcium with water. Calcium, it will form calcium hydroxide along with hydrogen, and it will liberate heat when react with water. Okay, so calcium forms calcium hydroxide and hydrogen when it is react with water. So here is the equation: Ca plus water H2O gives CaOH twice plus H2. Now reaction of magnesium with water. So magnesium, it will react very slowly with water, okay, and forms magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. So magnesium very slowly it will react with water and forms magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. So here you can see the chemical reaction. Mg, magnesium, react with water and forms magnesium hydroxide, MgOH twice plus H2. Now when steam means what? Water vapor is. So when steam is passed over magnesium metal, magnesium oxide and hydrogen gas are formed. So when we are passing steam over magnesium, it will forms magnesium oxide and hydrogen gas. Here is the equation which shows the reaction between magnesium and steam. So when steam is passed over magnesium, it forms magnesium oxide, MgO plus hydrogen gas. Now reaction of aluminium with water. So aluminium is the metal. It will react with the cold water very slowly. Okay, so we can observe the slow reaction of aluminium with the cold water. Okay, but when steam is passed over aluminium metal, it will forms aluminium oxide and hydrogen gas are produced. Understood, children? So with cold water, reaction of aluminium is too slow, but when steam is passed over aluminium metal, it will forms aluminium oxide and hydrogen gas are produced. Here is the equation which shows the reaction of aluminium with water. So Al plus H2O gives Al2O3 plus H2. Now reaction of zinc with water. Zinc, it will produces zinc oxide and hydrogen gas when steam is passed over it. Okay, so zinc does not react with cold water. Okay, it will not react with cold water, but it will form zinc oxide and hydrogen gas when steam is passed over it. So here is the reaction which take place between zinc and steam. So when steam is passed over zinc, it will form zinc oxide plus hydrogen. Okay, but it does not react with cold water. Now reaction of iron with water. So when iron react with water, it forms iron oxide. But the reaction of iron with cold water is very slow. Okay, but when iron forms iron oxide, when it is react with the moisture present in the atmosphere. So in the atmosphere, you can see there will be the moisture content. Moisture means air mixed with the water is. So due to the reaction of iron with the moisture, it can forms iron oxide, that we will say as rust. Okay, so iron oxide and hydrogen gas are formed when we are passing steam over iron metal. Okay, so with the cold water, the reaction of iron is very slow, but when we are passing steam over iron, it forms iron oxide and hydrogen gas. So here is the equation. Zinc plus water gives zinc oxide plus hydrogen. So zinc Zn plus H2O gives ZnO plus H2. Now both calcium and magnesium are heavier than water. Okay, these metals calcium and magnesium are heavier than water, but they will float over the water. As they are heavier than water, they have to zinc, but they will float over it. Why? Because hydrogen gas is evolved when these metals react with water. Okay, so when calcium and magnesium react with water, hydrogen gas will be evolved. It is in the form of bubbles. Okay, so the hydrogen which is evolved during the reaction of calcium and magnesium will be in the form of bubbles which stick to the metal surface. That means which stick to calcium and magnesium, which makes them to float over the water. Understood, children? So actually calcium and magnesium are heavier than water, so that they have to zinc in water. Yes, but here what is happening? No, during the reaction of metal with water, hydrogen gas is evolved. This hydrogen gas will be evolved in the form of bubbles. These bubbles will stick on the calcium and magnesium. Therefore, they float over the water. Understood, children? Now, here you can see the reaction. Calcium plus water gives calcium hydroxide plus hydrogen. And other metals, they will not react with water, or sometimes their reaction will be very slow. Okay, lead, copper, silver and gold, even they will not react with steam. Okay, so order of reactivity of different metals towards water will be written as K, Na, calcium, magnesium, zinc, Fe, Pb, Cu, then silver, A, gold. Okay, so gold, lead, copper and all, they will not react with the steam. So I hope that you all understand about the chemical properties, so reaction of metal with oxygen and water we have learned in this video. So next video we can continue the chemical properties of metal. If you have any doubt, you can ask children. Thank you.